guys, happy Friday. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Fortunately, my last 2 days have not been great, and I will fill you guys in with what's going on. But before I get into that, I'm going to show you today's project. So I did start this a couple days ago, and it is a granny square for the Llama Mama Kayla. I don't know why I get so tongue twisted every time I say her name, but it is her crossbody bag. And yeah, so I have my first one done. Love how it's working up. The color that I'm using, it is Red Heart in the color of Neon Stripes. Love this color, really happy with how it's coming out. And I am working on my second one. Don't know which one I'm going to use for the front and back. I have so many ideas for this project. I'm actually planning to, oops, I have my project tangled around my microphone. And the reason my microphone is like right here, we are in the middle of a heat wave for the next, I don't know how long, as long as my forecast shows, it is a heat wave. So I have the fan going, I have 2 fans going and the AC to keep me and the animals cool. So I have the microphone a little bit closer, so hopefully the background noise is not horrible and you can hear me, but we will see. So I'm going to chat with you guys a little bit and work on my second granny square. So you probably noticed my hand is messed up a little bit. It's actually doing better. So my last 2 days have been really bad. I actually recorded this video. This is my second try because the first time I recorded it, I was talking for almost 40 minutes about what happened, and yeah, nobody needs that many details. So I'm going to try to give you guys the very condensed version because it's a very simple story and you don't need 50,000 details. What happened was, on 2 nights ago, I went to bed a little bit later than normal since I didn't have to work, and around 1 in the morning, actually, yeah, 1 in the morning, midnight, somewhere around there, I was awoken by a really horrible commotion, and it's just one of those sounds that you know something bad is going on. So ran downstairs to see what was going on, like just jumped straight out of bed, halfway in sleep, like not even awake, ran down there to see what was going on, and I saw my cat, my Siamese cat named Cody, and Cody is actually a stray. Well, he's not a stray, but his mother was a wild cat, and she had her babies here, and I kept them. I tried to keep the mom as well, but she would not become a house cat and eventually took off after her babies grew up, and yeah, so I hope I see her again. But Cody is one of the babies, and he looks like he's a Siamese. He's very beautiful. All of them are beautiful. But yeah, so I ran downstairs to, following the sound of commotion, and Cody had fallen off of a shelf and gotten stuck. So how it is, I have my TV, and then there's a TV, and then next to the TV is a tall bookshelf. And he was up on the bookshelf, and he fell off. And some freak accident happened. Instead of just falling to the ground, his back leg got somehow stuck into a slot of the bookshelf at the top, and he was dangling. He was just hanging from that, fighting, trying to get loose. So I'm halfway asleep still, and I had to get him down. So I ran to him, and I knew to get him down, I needed to lift his body up so that he could just pull out the leg. So that's what I did. I reached up, grabbed him, and just lifted him straight up as high as I could. He got his leg out and just bolted, like he just took off. Unfortunately, he was trying to grab on to whatever he could to help hoist himself up, and my hand is what he grabbed onto. And I know I should have, thinking back, like after now, I'm like, yeah, I should have grabbed a blanket and used that, but in the moment, I saw my baby hanging, so I did. The first thing that I naturally came to me was just to lift him up. So my hand actually got bit and scratched. The worst part is actually this finger, and it's like he just chomped it, and yeah. So back to what was happening. When he bolted, I went to go after him to follow him because I knew he was going to be injured. and I went to follow him, but my hand was bleeding really, really bad. So I had to take a second to deal with it for a second, just try to rinse it. It wouldn't stop, and I just ended up wrapping it in a washcloth, a face towel, and the pain started. It was hurting like really bad. And I have a very, very high tolerance for pain. Like, I've broken bones and just got up and kept walking. So my tolerance for pain is up there. But this was hurting. Like, I slammed my hand in a car door, and that initial shock of this bite was worse than the car door. So whatever, let's just keep going. So yeah, so I ran upstairs to grab some Tylenol. I don't do medicine, but I needed something to help with the pain because it was hitting hard. So did that, wrapped up my hand, and then I went to find my cat. And somehow he had squeezed behind the dishwasher. I don't know how he did it, but he got back there. It took a while to find him. So I had to get some help and get the dishwasher unbolted and pulled forward. But the hosing and everything was still attached, so it wasn't like it was all the way out. There was a slot that, you know, he could easily walk out of, and I could like reach in to pet him. So I knew he was going to be injured. So while the dishwasher was getting unbolted, I ran to the garage to get a carrier because I knew I would need to go to the vet. So got him out. He was scared, and, you know, he didn't want to come out at first. So I kind of just petted him a little bit, eventually got him out, put him into the carrier. And as soon as I got him out, like, I didn't examine him or anything. I just put him directly into the carrier because I didn't want him to try to run off and anything like that. So I knew he was injured. And because, I mean, he was hanging he was hanging from his leg. So I'm like, it has to be broken. There's no way around it. He has a broken leg. So I was trying to decide, as I'm putting him into the carrier, you know, do I take him to the emergency vet, or do I wait until the morning to take him to my normal vet? And by this time, it's getting close to 2 a.m. And I thought about it a little bit, and I decided that I would take him to the emergency vet because there is a chance that my vet would be filled up and I would not get in an appointment, and I would have to go to the emergency vet anyways. So I made the decision to go to the emergency vet, and unfortunately his leg is broken in 2 places and he has a dislocation. And it's not the hip, at least, it's his ankle. But yeah, it's very, very broken. Problem is, it's very expensive, and this is basically, the emergency vet is basically a temporary fix. So just that one vet, which is temporary, I've already paid $1,750.44. And this is very difficult. I ended up just putting this onto a credit card and to deal with later because I don't have this money right now, and yeah, I don't have it. And this is just temporary. So they put a cast on his leg, and this is the cast. So the first day was okay. He was medicated, so he slept most of the day. And then this morning, about 4 a.m., he got the cast off. So he's a very chatty cat. He talks a lot. He's very, very social normally. So about every hour, I would hear him. And I would get up out of bed, go pet him a while, let him out of the carrier, and was doing that the entire night, like every hour, waking up to go check on him. And 4 a.m., heard him, got up, went to check, and this was laying next to it. I panicked. So I just waited. I put him back into the carrier, and then I called my vet to explain what had happened. And I took him to my vet, and my vet was saying, you know, to see what to do, because I thought this cast needed to go directly on again to have another one put on, but he's like, no, let's wait a little bit, because the emergency vet had said that he needs to have I don't know the name, but an ortho specialist to repair the leg, because they don't think it's going to heal just in the cast, which is, I mean, why put the cast on if you know that it's not going to heal? But whatever. So my vet said, do not put this back on because we need to see his specialist. So he has, hold on. Okay, so when I talked to my vet, he did the exam and everything, looked at him, checked out the leg, and I had the x-rays from the ER. They emailed them to me, so I emailed them to my vet, and he looked at all of that, and he said, you know, before making any decision, he has a specialist that he works with, and he wants him to review all the x-rays and all of that first to see if he also agrees that surgery is necessary or if they think that it will heal just in a splint. And my vet did not want to put on another cast on my cat because he said, you know, he would need to sedate him again. And there's no point in doing that and paying all that money if we will have to do the surgery anyways. So he is meeting up with the specialist. They're figuring that out, and they're going to let me know either probably sometime today or early tomorrow, and we'll go from there. So in the meantime, he said that I need to just keep the cat in an enclosed space. So leave him in the carrier, he said, and just make sure he's eating and continue to give him his antibiotics and his painkillers as normal. So that's what I've been doing. And Cody's actually doing fine. I mean, even the emergency vet, they were saying like his leg is messed up, but he's acting fine. And yeah. So one thing about like the ER, you know, when I call them to make sure that they could accommodate me, because sometimes they will turn, if they're really busy, they turn you away and you have to find another ER. So I called ahead of time and they had room, but they said it was going to be a 4, 5, possibly 6 hour wait. But I mean, have to do it. So went to the ER, and when you get there, they basically do a triage and they decide the severity of the condition. So if it is something minor, you get put to the end of the list, and then they help all the cases who are more severe. So the vet tech actually came out, you know, after I was doing the paperwork and everything. She took the cat back in the carrier, and within minutes, she came back out, and she was so bubbly, so just friendly and nice. She hands me the carrier, and she's like, okay, I have Cody, and I'm setting up a room for you, and the vet's going to be there right away. And I right away, that's like, oh no, this is bad. So I'm like, it's that bad? And she's like, yeah, it doesn't look good. And I'm like, oh my, I'm starting to panic. And she's like, you know, don't worry, we have the room. But, you know, when I took him out of the carrier, I looked at his leg, and it was actually facing the wrong way. So his leg was broken so bad, oh my gosh, it turned. So yeah, I panicked after that, but yeah. So I was actually happy that I got to the ER because regardless of the price, I got the painkillers, and I know he wasn't in pain. But this is very, very expensive, and it's just the very first step in this entire process. So the best situation is that it will heal being recasted. And I didn't know, my vet explained that these casts, like I was really worried. I'm like, how did it slip off? And he's like, that happens. You know, sometimes the cats will just remove it. Sometimes it'll slip off, because he had his cone on. And I did not let the cone come off. So I was like, how did this get off? But, you know, they can just slip off, he said. So the best situation is that he just continues to get cast, but I don't know how much my vet is going to charge for this, but the ER, their price is $300 each time the cast needs to be changed, and it will need to be changed anywhere between every week to every 2 weeks. So that's going to run up, and that should go on, they estimate it, about 2 months. The other option is going to be having the surgery to surgically repair it, and I don't know the whole process for that, but that's also going to be much more expensive than even the casting. So I am hoping, praying, and everything that they believe that it will heal with the cast. So with that, it is a lot of money, but he's my baby and I have to do it. So I'm going to try to use this as just an opportunity to grow, because crochet is my hobby. I love it. It's what I use for stress relief, for anxiety relief, and all of that. But in addition to my job, which is it's temporary now. I used to be a teacher, and I left that profession because I just needed a break from it. And now I work with curriculum and assessment, so I'm an independent contractor, so I work when work is available. And unfortunately, well, actually, right now nothing is available, so I'm not working, which is partly good because I'm able to fully take care of Cody, but then financially not great. So I make up a little bit by running a small business where I do embroidery. And the main thing I was really doing was teacher shirts, like for teachers, like with their school name, whatever. And it worked well for teachers because I would sell to one teacher, and then that teacher would, other teachers at the school would be like, hey, where'd you get that shirt? And they would kind of recommend me, and it would just get me more business by word of mouth. But I've been dealing with a lot of grief lately, and I can't really talk about that now because I get very emotional, but I'll eventually share. But basically, I just wasn't able to focus on the business, and it basically declined. And if I get an order on my website or Etsy, I will fulfill that, but I'm not really doing any marketing. So with that, I am planning to completely focus on selling things. So I'm going to add a section to my website called Cody's Crafty Corner, and I'm going to put a whole bunch of crafty related things in there: mugs, cups, tumblers, totes, you name it. Hopefully most of it will be personalized, and it's going to be a fundraiser for Cody. And I don't know, I hope it works. So I'm getting started on that now. It's kind of hard for me to make things because my hand's still messed up. It's healing at least, and I can move my fingers now because yesterday it was so swollen I couldn't move my fingers. But yeah, so that's going to be my goal. I'm starting it now, and I'm just going to really focus on creating new products, adding them to there, and really marketing and reaching out to people, and hopefully selling quite a few things that are going to help with these vet bills a little bit. And I'm hoping to really record a lot of it, to do a lot of live streaming while I'm making the stuff, to kind of just show how I make my items and how I do embroidery, what it looks like, what the machine looks like, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so that's kind of my plan. I'm really just going to focus on the business, and hopefully I can raise some money to help pay for Cody's vet bills. So if you're interested in that, you want to see what I'm up to, hopefully I'll be posting a lot of videos. So this is starting to get long again, and I just wanted a really, really quick story. So I'm going to end it here, and I'm just going to tell you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and just end it here. And yeah, so I will be posting some more videos soon, and I really, really appreciate everyone who's been commenting. I know I haven't been responding to comments. I haven't been able to, my hand was hurting so bad I couldn't type. But yeah, so I hope you guys are all just having a great day. I hope everything's going well for everyone, and I hope to see you guys very, very soon. So thank you guys. As always, thank you for watching, subscribing, liking, and all that stuff. I really, really appreciate it. So hope you guys are all having a great, great Friday, and I will see you guys soon.